WIBTA if I drop out of a friend's wedding after being excluded from the Bachelorette party. I-25F am currently being pushed back and forth with my choice, and I thought the lovely people of Reddit might be able to rein me in. I am currently 13 weeks pregnant, and my friends around me have all been very happy and excited for me. However, my childhood friend 25F, let's call her Lisa, stonewalled me since I announced at 8 weeks I had assumed it was wedding stress, but now I'm second guessing this. In the weekend I was scrolling Instagram and I came across a post where she had thanked everyone for coming to her bachelorette. Photos of it's the girls and her smiling in the middle, and I sorta sat there shocked. At first I tried to be mature and just let it go. But this was a girl I grew up with. She was a bridesmaid in my wedding party, and I'm an honorary bridesmaid for her. She's not having a wedding party. In the end, I guess hormones took over and I ended up reaching out to her. At first I went, "Oh, looks like fun." And she replied that it was, and after a tub of ice cream and a good sob I reached out and went, "Hey, sorry to be this person, but why wasn't I invited?" She immediately messaged me back with the response. TBH, the whole day was centered around drinking wineries and heading to town after, and I'm not sure you would have enjoyed being around all of us drunk AF, especially cause you're pregnant right now. I get that an invite would have been nice regardless. But in all honesty, I just wanted to keep it very small. I'm really sorry you feel that way, but I don't want to make this a big thing. BC, I've already had a shit week. I tried to respond with, "Hey, thanks for getting back to me, but I'm still upset cause the day is about you and I wanted to be there to celebrate you," and then she rung me and just asked me to not make this a big thing once again. And she sounded incredibly annoyed, and like the doormat I dropped it. After thinking this over for the past few days, I'm feeling very hurt and heartbroken. This was a girl I grew up with and loved and supported through a lot of shit. I've helped her plan and prepare a lot of her wedding, so to suddenly get iced out like this, I'm feeling a certain way. Comments. Comment 1. I'm glad Op can finally admit the friendship is done. That's the hard part about growing up, is not all friendships grow with you. Besides, as a soon-to-be mother, Op doesn't need this added stress and drama in her life. Sounds like the friend's marriage is destined to be a toxic one. I also cannot understand why the friend thought it was best to lie to all the people she didn't invite to her bachelorette. Especially the excuse she used towards Op. Like, why choose the most hurtful option? Comment 2. Not taking any of the blame off the bride, but I'm wondering if there isn't a whole other story going on here. Maybe groom's family, specifically Sil, took over everything, and that's why it didn't feel like the bride's day. How many times do we see a bride on here absolutely beside herself because Mill or Sil took over everything and the groom has just let them do it? They know what they're doing. Don't make a big deal out of it. Instead of standing up for his partner. I wonder if we're not going to see a just normal about this wedding. Update 1. Hi. Hope this is allowed, but you were all so wonderful and helpful, and turns out I got an update sooner than I expected. So I haven't heard from Lisa, that I expected. What I didn't expect is a friend of Lisa to get in touch with me. Let's call her Sarah. I knew of Sarah and spoke to her a few times at events we attended together, and she was one of the girls with myself went wedding dress shopping for Lisa. She was also a friend I noticed wasn't at the Bachelorette, which was a surprise anyway. And at first she was doing a "Hey, how are you?" and we did polite small talk blah blah. Until she finally went, "So are you as pissed off and mad as I am at Lisa Op?" Immediately I was slightly shocked, as the few times I had met Sarah she was very, I guess, demure. That opened the floodgates of information and she told me everything she knows. So what I didn't put in the post is I actually waited 2 days before messaging Lisa about the lack of invite. Turns out 3 of Lisa's friends who also weren't invited hit her up immediately after she posted on Instagram asking why they weren't invited. Turns out these girls absolutely chewed Lisa live, and my confrontational was soft, and finally it was revealed what actually happened, and now I'm even more confused. So Lisa admitted to Sarah that her sister-in-law planned the Bachelorette, and just decided she was only going to invite the friends she knew. So Lisa's usual group of 8-10 friends, including me, got narrowed down into 4, and Lisa decided not to correct her sister-in-law and just went with it, not realizing how many people she would be upsetting with not inviting people. Apparently once people started attacking her, Lisa buried her head in sand and started making up lies to everyone on why they weren't invited, and using the same excuse of "don't make this a big deal." Until everyone realized the reasons were bullshit and called her out for it, and the real truth came out. Sarah has informed me the girls who weren't invited have all pulled out of the wedding. Their partners included, because they got the same annoyed response from Lisa before she told the truth, and they all thought they didn't deserve that. Then she finally asked me what Lisa told me, and I went deathly quiet on the phone before finally admitting she used my pregnancy as an excuse, which, Then started poor Sarah on another rant of anger on how Lisa could say that to me when I'm pregnant. Anyway, we ended the call and she hoped we could get coffee sometime, so I think I've made a friend. So that's the update. This pregnant lady is very confused. And I'm currently the #1 buyer of ice cream at my local dairy. Update 2. I finally shared what had happened with my mum. And first, mum was so upset for me, but also gave me an "I told you so" op. You are too much of a doormat, thanks mum. But she then said I have a big heart, and sometimes people tend to use and abuse it. Once again, thanks mum. Anyway, mum then gave more tea, more gossip. So apparently while Lisa has been telling people that she's paying for her wedding out of her own pocket, turns out a big fat lie. Lisa's mother had been sending her money, and from what my mother told me it was a decent chunk of change. How do we know this? Well, Lisa's mum went to my mum upset, because one thing I forgot to notice is Lisa's mum wasn't invited to the bachelorette party. Context for people outside NZ. We don't have bridal parties, so usually what people do is the older generation gets invited to like dinner, and then the younger girls go out and party if you have a piss up. If you don't have a piss up and just do a more chilled bachelorette, then mum will be there the whole time, like mine. So Lisa's mother was distraught because she had been sending Lisa a decent amount of cash, had been told she wasn't allowed to give her opinion about anything to do with the wedding, and then wasn't invited to her bachelorette. And Lisa's mother is honestly a nice lady, so to hear that, it kind of broke my heart. And if I had known Lisa's mother was sending money, I would have told Lisa to pull her head in. My mum then had to break the news about why I wasn't invited to the bachelorette, and Lisa's poor mother was mortified. So that's the update. Is it even an update? I don't know. I'm just very sad at this point because I don't know where my friend has gone. If she's there anymore. Is this a Bridezilla moment? I don't know. My ice cream journey though, I read everyone people have been loving this pregnancy lady's carving, so allow me to indulge. Recently I tried the Ben & Jerry's banoffee flavor and it was very good. I wish the caramel swirl was mixed throughout all the ice cream, but beggars can't be choosers. And I had the most amazing strawberry sorbet the other day. Honestly so good I almost asked the ice cream shop for a tub of it, but I had self-control. New update. Just want to give a big thanks to everyone on Reddit for coming along on this wild journey with me. You have all helped me not go insane this past month. On to the update. So I attended the wedding. I know you can all boo me in the comments, but I was leaning towards not going until I spoke to my mum, who ultimately told me this would be a nice way of closing our chapter of friendship. I could walk away with my head held high. Later she told me that also Lisa's mum begged my mum to convince me to attend. I attended with my husband and I immediately noticed the vibe and aura was completely off. People of Reddit who are married who will understand me, weddings feel like love. This didn't. This was technically an Instagram picture perfect wedding, but it could have been anyone's wedding. It didn't feel personal. My friend barely smiled unless it was photos, her vows were robotic, and the mo was useless. That was my biggest pet peeve. It is not that hard to see the bride's dress needs fluffing, or she needs a drink, and even I'll admit I felt no joy watching speeches, and how everyone spoke about the groom and threw something in for the bride at the last second. The bride acted like we were good, like there was no beef, like the bachelorette thing never happened. I felt strange. I didn't like it because I know her, and she isn't able to hide her emotions, and she wears her emotions on her sleeve, so I think she genuinely thinks nothing is wrong between us. She pulled me aside and said how she loved and appreciated me, and how she was excited to be an honorary auntie, and kept touching my belly and blowing kisses at it. I left the wedding feel a lot of emotions. I know I'm hormonal right now, and I feel everything, but I don't know. But I can sit here and admit the friendship is done. I don't think I can look at her the same after everything I learned talking to my mother, and with how I was treated. The chapter is closed. Then the bridesmaids thing, I can look back somewhat fondly on our childhood and time together. Planning our marriages out with our Bratz dolls. I've never been good with friendship breakups, but this time I think I am. I think I'll be okay. Thank you all for listening to the rambles of this pregnant lady, who has also all enjoyed your ice cream recommendations. You have all expanded my horizons, and I'm sure the little one in my stomach appreciates it too. Now, for the next story. My best friend transitions from male to female, and along the way, love begins to blossom. My best friend of 24 years, born a male, is now a transgender woman. I'm in love with her, and not sure if I should tell her. My friend and I, both 24 years old, have been best friends our entire lives. We're practically brothers. Our parents grew up together, went to the same school, so my friend and I were together ever since we were little babies. We've always had each other's back, protected one another, cared for each other when the whole world felt like it was against us. The both of us knew we were always looking out for each other. My friend is an amazing person, someone I can go to and trust completely. I'm blessed to have this person in my life. My friend transitioned to a female a few months ago, 100% completely physically a woman. She's been through hormone replacement therapy these past few years. Seeing her becoming so much more happier is amazing to see. I'm absolutely proud of her. It's beautiful to see my friend now be so free, being comfortable with herself and always having the greatest smile on her face. But I'm falling for her, and these feelings aren't going away. I'll admit that I'm in love with my friend. The friend I've known for 24 years is who is stealing my heart, and I don't know what to do. I don't want to lose my friend, but my feelings of friendship for her are turning to romantic sexual feelings attraction. After my friend transitioned, we continued hanging out and talking like nothing changed. We continued going out to clubs, bars, the movies, restaurants, playing video games, nothing changed. We kept doing what we always did. During this time is when my feelings began to change. I started falling in love with her. You know what attracted me? Her, the way she is. My friend is now acting like herself, acting free and full of life, always laughing, dancing and being goofy. It hurts me. Because this is someone I grew up with and I'm afraid my feelings are going to push her away, or make this awkward. Like always, I'm insanely happy being with my friend, but my feelings for her are killing me right now every time we're together again. I've fallen in love with her true self. Her true self is absolutely beautiful. I've spoken to another close friend of mine about this. I just got made fun of. Haha. You wanna fuck your bro? Seriously is practically what I got. They didn't understand where I was coming from. They didn't understand what an insanely amazing person my friend is. This friend of mine feels it's creepy and nasty I'm falling for my best friend. They also aren't taking my friend's transition seriously, which is another reason why they're acting immature. All he did was make fun of me, so ever since then I haven't spoken to anyone else about how I feel. Also, aside from being scared of losing my friend, I'm afraid of what our families will think. What happens if my friend and I do end up together, and our families suddenly start to panic? I'm afraid not only ruining my friendship, but the friendship our parents have with themselves for many years. Both of our families were completely supportive when my friend transitioned, not a single negative comment. Everyone is proud of her, and the love our families have for her hasn't changed at all. I feel I'm overthinking all of this, especially because being friends is very different than being in a serious relationship. If anything, our families would be insanely happy we're together and be so annoying, haha. But I'm more worried on the negative response, which is why I believe I'm overthinking this whole thing. Plus, if I plan to even confess my feelings for her, I have to do it soon. She's always being asked out on dates, but she tells me she's looking for the right person to spend time with. I feel this is my opportunity to confess, but I don't know if I should. I don't just want to confess how I feel about her. I want an actual relationship with my friend. If any of you have some advice, please definitely share it. Because I have no clue what to do. I'll love to tell my friend how I feel about her, but I don't want to lose or ruin our 24-year friendship. I also don't want to make it seem that I'm falling for her just because she's now a woman. I don't want her to feel that way at all. What do you all think I should do? I'll absolutely appreciate the advice input. I'll greatly appreciate it so much. Comment 1. It's clear you care deeply for her, and navigating this transition from friendship to something more can be tricky. The most important thing is to be honest about your feelings, while also respecting her boundaries and the incredible bond you've built. Comment 2. It's understandable to be worried about losing the friendship. But if you truly see a future with her, it's worth expressing how you feel. Just make sure she knows that no matter her response, your friendship remains a priority. Update 1. Screw it. I'm going for it. I'm going to ask out my friend. It's Saturday, 1 p.m. right now. I'm going to see if she wants to go on a date tonight. First off, wow. Thank you for giving me the motivation. Reading your comments has made me realize I shouldn't waste time. I need to go for it, or I'm going to regret it. My plan is to take her out on a fun date, and I'll confess my feelings during the date. I might even show her this post, as I literally poured all my feelings in this post. She actually lives a few houses down the street. We live in the same neighborhood street, that's why we're pretty much always together 24/7 every week. I'm going to message her to see if she's home so I can stop by. And while I'm there, I'm going to ask her out. Wish me luck. I'll continue to update y'all. Update 2. I got a date tonight. I was insanely nervous walking to my friend's house, but I can't stop smiling cause wow, I actually got a yes from my friend. One issue I had was where the date was going to be. I had no idea. But I remembered she loves this 80s bar grill that has karaoke every night and tacos, so that's where we're going. So tonight it's going to be tacos, drinks, 80s music and karaoke. Sounds like an awesome date. I told her pretty relaxed, I didn't rush into it. Showed up, started talking like usual, and that's when I asked her. Told her I would love to take her out on a date tonight. That I've been wanting to ask her out for the longest time. I definitely tried to hide my face from blushing. Because she had a huge smile when I asked her out. She's even extra excited cause we're going to her favorite place. I feel asking her out has made her comfortable to flirt with me. She started complimenting me and even kissed me on the cheek before I left. She definitely felt more intimate, if that makes sense. She even said she's going to get extra pretty for the date tonight. I'll admit, I'm really looking forward to that. Although it's impossible for her to get extra pretty, seeing as she's already gotten already. I'm still shaking honestly, LOL. The shakes are more shakes of excitement. I'm gonna pick her in 2 to 3 hours, so I'll definitely be getting ready soon. Haven't gone on a date in quite some time, so I'm really looking forward for tonight, especially with the date being the girl really love. I'm still nervous, but it'll pass eventually.